Everyone, welcome to Lang Park for the 1992 Winfield Cup Grand Final between the defending premiers Eastern Suburbs and West. And here come the Tigers, led out by their skipper, 30-year-old Gavin Payne. Judging by the boos, I think West might be favourites here with the crowd this afternoon. Here's the Eastern Suburbs side. It's Mulvihill, the fullback. The wingers are Cannon and McGowan. The centres are Payne and Street. The halves are Dowden and Green, that's Paul Green, and the pack is Crosby. The second rowers are Crothers and Nielsen, and the front row Herman and Anderson. Andrew Neves, the hooker, and they're coached by the former international and John Lang.
And listen to the support for the Panthers, no doubt about where the crowd sentiments are today. They haven't won a grand final since 1976. They did win the preliminary final. They beat East convincingly on that occasion, 25-14. But let's have a look at the lineup. It's Craig Green at fullback, John Green on one wing, Maguire on the other. In the centres, it's Smith and Stratton. 5/8 is Bowen and Duncan, the halfback. Their lock forward is Liddell. In the second row, it's Mills and Schuler. The front row is O'Reilly and Shaw. And the hooker, of course, is Fitzgerald. And their coach is Gary Grinke. Referee for today is Ian Irwin, taking over the mantle of the #1 referee following Dave Manson's progress into the Winfield Cup main competition out of the Sydney Rugby League. So he's in charge today. And defending champions Eastern Suburbs up against Wests, who, as I said, were convincing winners in the preliminary final, in their semi-final rather. Then East came back and defeated North 32-16 in the preliminary final. But their matches to date in the Winfield Cup, East won the first 2 rounds. They defeated West by 14-12 in round #1 and round 2 28-18. But that's all behind them. It's just one-on-one here today. And we'll just see who's going to come out of this one. Here's the kickoff coming up. It's going to be Green putting it downfield. It'll be taken back there by Paul Green. There's 3 Greens in action out there today. And that's Crothers taking it up to the quarter line in the first tackle of the match. Nielsen on this occasion. So from the play, the ball back over in centre field. He's quite content just to ruck it up the centre at the moment. Dummy half waiting for it is Neve. He in turn sends it outside to Anderson. They'll be looking for some from him today. Matter of fact, Greg Dowling, I think the front row's going to be a big battle out there all afternoon.
Yeah, it certainly will be, Bill. Both got big packs of forwards, pretty mobile. I fancy the West back because they have got that bit of extra size, but this will be the testing period, the first 10 minutes.
Yes, and on top of that, Greg, of course, the front row of East, Steve Herman, there's been a cloud over him with appendicitis problems, and also Peter Anderson's only had about 1 game in 6 weeks. He had a 4-week suspension, came back in the prelim final out there today. So as far as being track conditioned, I'd say the West forward perhaps a little edge ahead.
Yeah, Anderson had 1 match, but came back last week, and he pulled up a little bit sore after that. He wasn't the best throughout the early part of the week anyway. So the kick is going to be in a touch on the full. Beautiful day here in Brisbane. Ideal conditions for rugby league. Just a little bit warm. There seems to be a breeze up top here, GD, but down on ground level, what's it like there?
No, there's a strong southwesterly blowing. It's pretty breezy up top. They'll have to watch the high ball. But down on ground level here, there's just a bit of a breeze blowing just to cool the players off a bit. But I tell you what, it's pretty hot.
Green getting it away to Dowden, who juggled it and eventually got it back there to Payne. So taking it up is Nielsen. Nielsen put down just inside the quarter line. So East with a little bit of early attack now. They send it back to Green. Outside a cross over there to lock forward Crosby standing wide. He'll be put down right on the quarter line. Mulvihill is up as dummy half. He'll swing it away on the left-hand side. It'll be taken over there by Anderson, but he only gains a metre or so. He's going to be well wrapped up by the defence over there. From the play the ball now. East's in possession, working the blind side. Knee putting a little kick over the top, and it's going to be out on the full. So play will come back to about 20 metres out from the West line. At this stage, there are no points on the board.
If you're looking for it.
So no points on the board as yet. Wait for Duncan to feed the scrum. But Irwin not happy with that front row again. He's had a couple of chats with them so far.
There's that shove again from East.
Yep, and it worked pretty well for them too, but Duncan does come away with it. He goes the blind side, quickly going to be claimed over there by Paul Green, his opposite number. But starting off exactly how you'd expect a final 2 start. Nothing fancy, just slogging it out at the moment, settling each other out as they go. Greg Dowling, would you go along with that summation?
Yeah, East have definitely started the better. They're hungry. They got their backsides kicked a couple of weeks ago by West, so they're not letting them build up any momentum. I think Peter Anderson's been under instructions to go out there, play as fast and as hard as he can, then come off for a breather.
So that's Duncan Nab just on the halfway mark. Trying to work his way through as Schuler. And outloads it, got away nicely, they keep it moving. A crossover there to the winger in Maguire. But he's going to be knocked down 24 metres out from the east line. But West on the attack again. They spread it wide. Keep it going. This is Mills, the danger man. Sends a long one coming out this time to Green. Green tackled into touch, but the ball goes on and West East will end up with it. Well, that was promising from West.
Yeah, good set of attack from West there and a great long pass from Gavin Duncan to get things going out wide.
So
now, that I think was unnecessary. It was a cut-out pass from Steve Mills and it just gave his winger no room. I didn't think there was any need to throw the cut-out. Simple, 2 passes would have done and perhaps a man could have been drawn. Yeah,
they would have ended up in a bit of posse, I reckon. So it's Nielsen playing it now. Taking it up is Dowden, the 5/8 to the quarter line. Kick downfield this time by Mulvihill to Craig Green. There are 3 of them out there, 2 for West and 1 for East. But that's a nice tackle coming in. And it's Payne, who followed through nicely. Working around that time is Bowen. He gets his pass away again. Back inside it goes, but it goes to no one. East are going to dive on top. They'll end up with possession. So West, as they did a couple of weeks ago, they scored a few tries, but they also threw away a lot of good scoring opportunities in that semi.
Yeah, that was sloppy because Craig Bowen did extremely well there to create an overlap and should have made more of it, even if the tackle had to be taken and then spun again like they did previously, but they just got impatient.
So now away from the dummy half is Crosby. A couple of metres inside West territory. So we haven't any scores at all at this stage.
Gee, there's a lot of space around that dummy half area for West, Greg Dowling. He seemed to be making easy metres there.
Yeah, they're just falling off the tackle, not holding the man down to slow it down a bit. That naturally suits East play. But gee, how good of a player is that Craig Bowen?
Yes, he scored a couple of tries in the semi-final win over East. And he shows plenty of pace. He's an Australian touch football rep, and you've got to have a bit of toe to play in that, haven't you? But he does look good. So now it's West. Desperately trying to get out there with O'Reilly. They're midway between quarter and halfway down in their own territory. Pass coming over to straight over the shoulder of John Green. Not a good pass on that occasion from the lock forward in Liddell. Touch judge coming in to report something that's happened somewhere along the way. And it's going to be the centre for East in Greg Street being called out.
Yeah, Greg Street had a chop at the player on the ground. He threw one. Nothing too much to take into.
Not of the proportions of yourself and Tamati, is it?
I thought we'd forgotten about that, Bill.
No, well, you're down on that memorial spot near the touchline. There's still a hole in the fence where your head went through. Right, in it goes. Green. Scrum screwing around. The ball's still locked in the centre. West will come away with it. But then they'll lose it, and it'll be an East ball. Well, golly. You can't get
space out left there, Bill, if they move it.
They've got plenty of players. Dowden with it now. Trying to get it over the top. And West will come away with it. It'll be Strutton. Pretty sloppy stuff all the way around there from the scrum.
Well, there was one option to pass it. He took all of the above and didn't know what to do, and it really blew that because it was about a 3-man overlap. Had it been a straight pass from Steve Dowden.
So this is Shaw playing it. Taking it up this time is Schuler. Puts his pass back behind him, but the defence is there very quickly, and they grab a hold of Duncan. So from the play the ball, this is Bowen again. Flicks it back inside, a bit of a juggle. But then it ends up in the hands of Fitzgerald. He'll be put down a metre inside East territory. So back it goes to Duncan again. He gets a pass to Shaw, a big long one out this time. Trying to work away around is Sam Smith. Sends it back inside to John Green. He'll be locked up right on the quarter line. So from the play, the ball back to Duncan. Oh, he did a big scoop, long pass over field. Liddell. Then he gets it away to Schuler. Schuler going to be pulled down just inside that quarter line. Didn't seem to be sure what they were doing there.
No, they didn't. In fact, there was a forward pass involved there which Ian Irwin didn't pick up. But some good attack out left again, and the front row is doing their job. A great pass from Darren Shaw set that up. That pass to Schuler, I believe, was forward. And a good tackle again from Peter Anderson.
So now it's East's. And Neve taking it up on that occasion. The hooker, he's been very prominent in the early part of this match.
He's a busy player, Neve.
So now taking up a big strong run coming through here by Crosby. Crosby gets almost to the halfway mark before he's going to be nabbed. Not much of him. He's pretty short, but he gets moving very solidly there. So Payne sends it straight out this side to Cannon on the wing. Cannon pull down 5 metres inside West Territory. Dummy half is Gavin Payne, the captain. No points on the board as yet. Goes himself, straightens it up. Tackling underneath Fitzgerald. Over the top it was Liddell. Kick through by Mulvihill. Could come off for him. No, it's going to be Green caught in the in-goal area. Good pressure. So it'll be a drop out from underneath the goal mouth.
Yeah, saw the space down the short side. Got a bounce that suited him. Evaded the fullback from West, Craig Green, and he just gets there in time. Good play, Mulvihill. Yeah,
not too bad from Green either. He had to sort of prop and go back there. Mulvihill was coming through on the burst. But at this stage, it's 0-0 at Lang Park. Well, Greg, there's 12 minutes of the match gone, and East look in the better shape at this stage.
They certainly do, Billy. They're working their forwards a lot better. Although West, even when they swing the ball wide, they certainly look dangerous. I just think they need to bring their forwards into the middle a bit more and just consolidate.
So East keeping it going by Nielsen. Crowd thinking that was a bit forward. Dummy half is Neve. He'll send it across there. Comes on to Anderson. Anderson going for the line. He's going to score. First score of the match. Eastern Suburbs are in the front row. Peter Anderson is over for the try, and they open up a lead of 4 points to 0.
Well, he's been the player of the game so far. That Peter Anderson hasn't stopped. So much for him not playing much in the last 5 weeks. Gets outside Craig Bowen. Bowen low, no hope. And Peter Anderson a stroll to the line, nothing more.
Well, I think as Greg Dowling outlined, John Lang just wanted probably a hard 20, 25 from Anderson. Full bore, and there's the evidence of it. He's crossed for the big 4-pointer. East lead 4-0.
So Paul Mulvihill attempting to convert the opening Eastern Suburbs drive. Has a bit of a wind to contend with. He's on his way. Let's see how it goes. Going to be waved away, so the score remains East's leading by 4 points to 0.
Playing mind games, and they know Eastern Suburbs did them methodically in the grand final last year. They've come into this match probably as favourites, and they just need to consolidate.
Well, let's see whether they can do that, as Eastern Suburbs are in possession about 20 metres out from their own line now. Taking it up over there is Crothers. Dummy half is Neve, a busy little player. Anderson, the try scorer. Sends it back inside, straight through the hands there of Paul Green. The referee has ruled a knock-on in there. So we'll have a scrum 30 metres out from the east line. So waiting for the scrum to pack in. Duncan feeds it. Cross over there to Mills, standing out of it. He gets up to the quarter and forces for an extra couple of metres. Touched by the opposition, another 6. So now it's West. What can they do from here? Schuler lost the ball in the tackle. There's going to be a penalty to West. Player being penalised is Steve Herman, the front rower. Pretty good crowd out here at Lang Park for this match today. Here's the kick. No doubt about it. Straight through the centre. So West get their first points on the board, but he set the lead of 4 points to 2. So there's the kick-off. And it'll be West's ball right from the outset there, and taking it up was Schuler. And this is Liddell. So Fitzgerald from dummy half. Looking for a bit of action out there. And I'm hoping that Mills could do it on this occasion. So they're only about 7 or 8 metres short of the halfway mark as Duncan kicks. Going back is Mulvihill. He'll take it on his own quarter line. But the defence is up there pretty smartly. And he's put down over there by Maguire. So now it's Nielsen. Well, it goes this time to Dowden. Now they find Street coming up there, is it? No, it's not. It's going to be Herman. Now pass to no one. Who comes away with it? East will come away with it after West touched it, so the tackle count to restart. And Green away from dummy half. On it goes to Anderson. Anderson put down 10 metres short of the halfway mark. So the defence coming in pretty solidly to take care of Crosby on that occasion. And he's hurt in that tackle too, Crosby. Down on his back at the moment. Just away from the fly. There you can see him on the left-hand side of your screen. So now to Street. Pass to no one. Going through as Bowen scoops it up nicely. Defence was there to grab a hold of him. Now it's towed through. It'll be a West ball back there with their lock forward in Liddell. Dummy half Fitzpatrick. He in turn sends it on to Darren Shaw. Then across to O'Reilly. They're working up towards that quarter line. Not quite there as yet. Fitzgerald is the dummy half. He'll turn it back then to Schuler. Schuler 20 metres out from the east line, but the east lead at the moment is 4 points to 2. Back to Bowen. Bowen in turn to Mills. To Bowen doubling around. Now getting it away to Green coming into it. Green still going. That's Craig Green, the fullback. Final tackle. We'll wait for Duncan. He works it to Bowen on the blind side. Little kick through. Going to be taken back there by Cannon. So East will end up with possession. But he's ruled a knock on in there. Ruled a knock on. A big chance for West from here. Gary Grenke, the West coach, taking it all in. Well, at this stage, just under 19 minutes of play remaining as West will feed the scrum.
So it's going to be one against the feed. Eastern Suburbs push. They pushed very hard in this first 20 minutes of the first half in the scrums, and it's come up dividends only 10 metres out from their own line. So now they get out of their own 22 with Crothers. Run of about 8 metres. East lead West by 4 points to 2 in the grand final. This is Herman. Underneath was Shaw. Copybook stuff. So Neve now to Crosby. He's into a hole, Crosby. He's looking for his winger. It's McGowan. The cover's too good. The pass is back inside. And this will be the knock on. But it was Eastern Suburbs out wide. Crosby was doing the damage.
Yes, Crosby's second run of the match. It all came... That was the climax of it as opposed to the start. But Bruce Crosby has been an impressive performer so far. Set all that up. But to no avail, West ball.
So Duncan feeds. On the 22-metre line is where Gavin Duncan feeds the ball. And East are going to come up with it again, are they?
Well, he's got him for not retiring. But why Gavin Duncan doesn't put it under his own lock speed, I'm not sure, because he's putting it in just behind the hooker and they're getting pushed off it. And no other league halfback puts it anywhere near the middle. Why not put it under your lock speed?
Have a look at Alan Langer, and he's the Rothmans gold medal best and fairest.
Jeff Tuvey the other day missed a scrum just about.
So Mulvihill finds touch and the Tigers go on the boil. They're only 18 out from the line. So Neve will take it and give it to Anderson. And he takes the settler on 1-10 away from the try line. So Neve to distribute for Herman. He's 5 short of the chalk. 4-2 the Tigers lead. The defending premiers, they find Anderson almost in the same spot as he scored the try, but he's lost it. He tried to get one over the top and Fitzgerald came away with it.
Yeah, both teams guilty of trying too much. They get themselves in a position, they get a little bit excited and the ball gets spilled, and it's cost West dearly, it costs East then, because I think had East been able to score from that particular movement would have made it very tough for the Panthers to come back.
Here's Mills. 105 kilograms of him. Plays it to Fitzgerald and now to Schuler. Now the pass has gone to Sam Smith. There's plenty of cover. And he'll stay in the field of play by a centimetre. To his feet to Fitzgerald, to Duncan. Long ball now to Craig Bowen. And they keep it moving with Liddell. Craig Green picks it up. Knocked back. And he's got a bit of room. He takes on Dowden. Gives it to Maguire. Here's a chance down the touchline. Towed ahead.
He's out.
And goes into touch.
Yeah, foot put into touch as he put that kick forward. Beautifully set up here. That's lovely work from West. Now, just as he puts there it is. The left foot actually goes on the line just prior to kicking. Good ruling from the touch judge.
Paul Green to feed. Nice steady scrum base from the Tigers as Green tries to give space to Dowden. He wants to link up with his outside backs, but they were miles away.
Well, they weren't far enough away. I mean, you could have got it to them. It was a three-man overlap. Poor play from Dowden.
So Street, I don't know, Andrew. I think he had to throw the ball too far back, but he decided to take them on. Now here's Payne.
Well, I do
Green.
know. It was a three-man overlap and he should have passed it.
Neve running around in circles and Crosby comes up the middle. 8 metres inside Western Suburbs territory. East have possession. Herman, centre of the ground. So they move it left side. Crothers, wrapped up high. Mills in there with Duncan. Here's Mulvihill to put it high. Now that'll hang up there for a while. It'll test Green. Takes it well. Craig Green tackle 18 out from his own line. So just outside the 22 is where Maguire plays it. Over to Mark O'Reilly. And underneath was Anderson. So West trying to roll their big forwards. Here's Mills. Out wide. Hands free. Schuller. Runs into Crothers. Herman. Oh, and Street. No spear tackle. Nice ball, Smith. That was offshore. And now they're on the final tackle, just inside their own half. Duncan is going to have a run, then a kick. Mulvihill has it covered. He might have just lost it there, but sliding backwards.
Yeah, did well. Mulvihill got his back between the ball and the attacking player, Duncan.
Here's McGowan. Takes it over the halfway mark and a great run from the winger and Andrew McGowan. The Tigers roll it. They dummy and foil for the moment. Neve is the man with the ball just inside West territory. Eastern Suburbs lead by 4 points to 2. And there's Crosby around that ruck area, Greg Dowling. West won't cover up the spots.
No, they're going to learn the hard way, mate. They're making too many breaks there, East. They've got to tighten it up like you say.
So here's Neve, dummies, trying to get the hands free. He's wrestled to the ground by Craig Bowen. So it's now with Dowden to Paul Green on the toe. Craig Green takes it. And he's wrapped up 5 out from his own line. Wire trying to break the tackle of Nielsen underneath Anderson. Strutton. Graham Strutton out of tackles, and he's got to pass over the top to Mills. Stays in the field of play. So West take it within 12 of the halfway. They're still in the early tackle count for Mark O'Reilly. He's wrapped up by Crosby and Herman.
Good tackle on Mills by Andrew McGowan, the east winger. Another 70-metre run was on the cards then, had he missed him.
So Bowen, well, Payne was offside. Now Smith to Green. Inside he comes. He needs support. He's found someone. He's found Craig Green. Bowen, can they get him from behind and cover? Yes, he's lost it. East will come up with the ball. 10 out from their own line. Robbie Cannon's getting slowly to his feet. So is the man playing the ball, Gavin Payne. And now it'll be to Dowden to ruck it out like a front rower.
And they're East covered here. 3 players to get Bowen. Earlier on, there was a West runaway. They're about 7 East defenders. They're tackling in defence is very good, but now West with the ball.
Here's Liddell. They've got the pass out wide to Strutton. He's a metre short of the line. Come on! Anderson want to be careful he doesn't end up in the bin. Sam Smith, he's got it to Schuller. That's it. They're in. West have hit back. He's propped up the ball. 10 out from the line. And eventually it was the captain, Paul Schuller, that went in to score. And Western Suburbs lead by 6 points to 4.
Yes, and a mistake from East, one of their few. And Sam Smith does well here. 3 tacklers on for him, leaves space for Paul Schuller. A simple stroll. He goes over in the tackle of Greg Street, attempted tackle. And here you'll see Smith, the former Ipswich player, has played for Queensland. Gets Crosby on him, then 2 come in to make the tackle, which leave the space for Schuller. That's 6-4 to Wests.
Well, they were 1 man short at this stage, West, because they had Cannon down over here. There was a replacement player trying to come on, But he couldn't get out there, but I think they could have done with another 3 around there and they still wouldn't have stopped him.
John Green, only about 4 or 5 metres to the side of the uprights. He's already kicked a penalty goal, and now to convert Schuler's try. Cannon's okay. He's on his feet on the far side of the ground. Makes no mistake, and Western Suburbs lead of the grand final by 8 points to 4. Looks like he might have a leg injury, and Sean Davis in 15 is his replacement. So we're underway once more. Here's Mills, winds up. He's lost the football. Underneath was Nielsen, and Dowden's been hurt in that tackle. He's holding his arm, but the Tigers have the ball outside the 22. Scott Nielsen, who affected that tackle on Mills and made him cough up the ball, takes it to the 22. Dowden's holding his arm in back play. Here's Crothers inside the quarter. The Tigers a chance to hit straight back. Andrew Neve.
All of a sudden the Tigers are in a bunch.
So Paul Green gives it to Herman, and the front rower runs it within 10 of the line. They're still bunched. Paul Green calls for the football. It's in his hand. He holds it for Crosby. He's wrapped up by the big man in Mills and also Shaw.
That was a very ordinary set from East, that wasn't it? They had the smell. As soon as they got down into the 22, they got the ball immediately, and I don't think John Lang would be happy because they did nothing with it.
So here's the try scorer of Paul Schuller, rucking it out of his own 10-metre zone as Steve Dowden gets treatment and back play. Graham Strutton tries to break the tackle of Street, plays it ahead, and gets a nice ball to Fitzgerald. Here come Western Suburbs. He's trying to link up, takes the tackle, but Graham Strutton's causing havoc out wide. Now the football's with Liddell through Duncan. It's gone loose, knocked back, and Craig Green will pick it up. He's trying to link up out this side. Still running. He'll find someone in a moment. Gavin Duncan, centre of the ground.
Beautifully read Gavin Payne that, because West would have scored had Payne not made that tackle and forced West in field.
So Western Suburbs now. Bowen. Now Mills. Will he take them on? Yes. Yes. Green for the line. Inside pass. Robbie Cannon says thank you. Western Suburbs putting on the pressure. And Eastern Suburbs just saved the day as Mills breaks away. The one-handed of Green. He was hoping there was black and red jerseys inside, but it was Robbie Cannon.
Yeah, did the right thing, John Green. He was going out anyway. May as well take the punt. It didn't go from that time.
And Cannon's down again, injured.
See, that's 3 East backs injured within the last 5 minutes. Cannon, Dowden and Mulvihill certainly upset the teamwork.
So Cannon stays on the field, and Eastern Suburbs try to ruck the ball out of their own 22 zone. Oh, Shaw went up with Riley. They met Herman. The 3 front rowers came together. Now to Anderson. Can't beat the tackle of Fitzgerald underneath. Neve at dummy half. Surveys the options to Paul Green. John Green. And the chase was good from Dowden. Here comes Maguire. Just 5 short of the halfway. West lead by 8 points to 4. Schuller brushes off Dowden. That arm of Dowden's not very good, I wouldn't think. Here comes Shaw, the big man. Well, he's not a real giant. He's big enough to wind up and take it forward 10 metres. Liddell's the foil. Nice hands by Bowen. But Eastern Suburbs defence read the play. On the final tackle, Gavin Duncan to Craig Green, behind McGowan, who now fetches. Strutton's the chaser. Sean Davis, who's on for Mulvihill. This is Nielsen, just outside the 22. The pendulum just starting to swing in favour of Western Suburbs at the moment.
No doubt about it. The game certainly has had a change of moods in the last 10 minutes or so. And West In defence, they look quite flimsy in the middle, and East look flimsy out wide. Two different games.
And Sean Davis looks pretty good up the middle. He's run it within 32 of the line. Now they're on the final tackle, and there's not enough East players in support. Green couldn't find anyone this side. He's got to find a prop. That's floated forward, I would think.
Might have got a West hand.
Play on, and hasn't got it down, Gavin Payne.
Penalty to East.
He's ruled Western Suburbs
ball,
has been held without the ball, but I've got to ask about the pass. Did it float forward, or was there a West hand in between it?
Well, it looked as if it floated forward, didn't it? But it also, there was certainly the hint of a West hand. So we'll see the pass from Peter Anderson, and it will have been Graham Strutton if anybody's to touch it. Only he'd know. There's Gavin Payne, and the man behind him held back by West. Good refereeing.
All right. So here we see Eastern Suburbs with the ball after their player was held back. They're only 2 metres short of the line. Scotty Nielsen. They may look for one of the big men here. They may look for Anderson, Herman or Crothers close to the line. Let's have a look for Neve. He's only a little fellow. He couldn't find the right runner. Paul Green to dummy half. Now it goes through Crosby. Out to Dowden. Turns and gets the one-hander back to Crosby. Now to Green. What happens now? Well, Gavin Payne runs backwards. And now back to Green. And they still don't put the man on the deck. Knock on. They kept that ball alive for a long time, did Eastern Suburbs, but no one ran with any purpose.
Yeah, he picked it and won. The ball was alive, but nobody knew what to do once they had it.
I think they tried to get it right, Andrew, in the first two tackles. They ran decoys. Someone was supposed to hit it, and they've missed each other like a game of Chinese checkers. Now here's Duncan. Liddell to dummy half to Craig Green. And he's got a bit of easy 10 metres up the centre. Now the runners come from Western Suburbs. Bowen. 12 short of the halfway. Now Sam Smith over to Darren Short. Western Suburbs lead 8-4. Mark O'Reilly. Well, Western Suburbs continue to roll their forwards, Greg Dowling, as they chip for Duncan to chase. And it's Duncan. Hands away to Smith. John Green. He doesn't need him. He's in. Sam Smith is in. He had John Green on the outside. The bounce of the ball's gone Western Suburbs' way. And West now race to a vital lead of 12 points to 4.
And once again, Gavin Duncan's skill. That's a great chip. He's found a bit of space, but he did get that bounce. It's going over Gavin Payne. Payne gets a shove in the back. The ball bounces around Gavin Duncan on the spot. Finds Sam Smith. Could have set up his winger Green. Thought he'd take the option himself. Did it safely. I don't know if it'd have been the most popular bloke had he been tackled, but anyway, he got the points. There's the bad bounce now coming up for Gavin Payne. He's come back. Really nothing you can do about that. Maintains his composure, Gavin Duncan, rather well. Finds his support outside. This here, perhaps, is where Sam Smith could have passed. Opted not to, over the line.
Wesley 12-4 with this kick to come from John Green. Will he keep the 100% record intact? It's coming around. She's a ripper. Western Suburbs at half-time lead by 14 points to 4 as the teams leave the field after Eastern Suburbs led 4-0 after 14 minutes of play. So 14-4 West lead. We'll be back after this break with the second half.
Scrums have gone 5-3 to West's way. There have been a couple against the feet out there today. Here's an interesting one. West have done 80 tackles more than the Tigers have so far, but they've missed East as 2 more tackles than West have, so it's 17-15 there. Handling, you can see there's a fair bit of that running around, 14 against 12. And 2 tries to 1 in West's favour. There's the kick-off now for the second half of this match. We have Wests with a lead of 14 points to 4. And West will have that wind behind them in this second half of the match. Attacking around there is Peter Liddell. Well, they started rather slowly, West, but came home with a rush.
Steve Dowden hasn't come back, Bill, for the second half, and Rob Duncan replaces him in 14.
OK, so Dowden did look as though there was something wrong with him. Running through there is Sean Davis. The early matches today. East have got away with both of them. They took out the Colts by 28-18, and in reserve grade, they were able to come home winners by 15 points to 8. They trailed 8-0 at half-time, East, so they had a big second half. But they're trailing here in the A grade by 10 points at the moment. We have another 40 minutes of football to go as yet. That's Steve Herman taking it up. Only half is Neve. Greg Dowling, you've been sniffing around those dressing rooms. What's happened at the half-time break?
As you can imagine, Johnny Lang wasn't very happy. He was blasting his players. For one thing, for them to stop blaming everyone else and look at their own game. Also, he wanted them to speed the game back up again. And also, you know, they can score the points. They're, 12 points down. He thinks they can get up and win it. Also, Paul Mulvihill won't be taking any further part in this game. On the other side of the bench, you got Gary Grenke, was very happy with the way he's gone. But he wants his forwards to run a bit more straighter. They're running across field too much. Tighten up the scrums and use this win. Drive home the advantage.
How many points difference, you say, Judy? Try 10. Not to worry. 10 points behind they are at the moment, East. That's Payne. Working his way up towards the quarter line. Sent the pass back behind. Neve was there to clean up. And just as well, too, because West were straight in on it, and the ever-present Schuler was around there. So now they're taking it up with Cannon this time. From the play, the ball. Dummy half waiting for it is Neve. Back it goes to Green. They keep it going. Duncan along that back line. On it goes this time to Street. They've lost it back behind, but regather. Coming away with it will be Crosby. Street again, back on to Green. Green with the high kick. The wind will hold it up a fair bit. They're boring through out after it, diving through the air with Davis, but it'll be taken back there by Green.
Taken extremely well under a lot of pressure. Good work, Craig Green.
So now it's West. They're in possession, but they're down on their own line. That's Mills. Here he goes.
Never took his eye off the ball, despite the attentions of the Tigers.
Yes, Sean Davis was there. Coming at him on that occasion. So West with the task of getting it out of their in-goal area. Neve is down injured at the moment.
Yeah, looks in a bit of strife, and Ian Irwin has called a halt to play to get the trainer on in a hurry. They'll miss him. Looks to be lower left leg, or perhaps his knee. He certainly is in some pain.
So a restart of play just short of the quarter line. Neve still hasn't rejoined play. He's trying to limp his way back at the moment. As West drive it downfield via the boot of Craig Green. Davis going back for East. A bounce up nicely for him. He'll go straight up the centre. And eventually pulled out a couple of metres short of the halfway mark. Dummy half is Nielsen. Well, I would suggest, Andrew, that East would desperately like a try in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yes, they certainly would. And, of course, if it goes the other way, if West get up, that would give them what would seem an unbeatable break. But really, that first 20 minutes of the first half, West didn't look in it. They've come back, but still around that dummy half. The winger for East before, Rob Cannon, made easy yardage. I'm sure Grenke will want that tightened up. I'm surprised he didn't mention something at half-time.
The two big front rowers, O'Reilly and Herman, clashed over there, and it looks as though Herman's come out of it worst off. Picked up nicely there by Bowen. Bowen will be put down 5 metres short of the halfway mark.
Well, he'll be remembered for missing that tackle on Peter Anderson to give them their only point, or to give East their only points thus far. But gee, has some attacking skills, that Craig Bowen. That was superb play.
Mills is wrapped up 5 metres inside East territory. So they'll play it back over there. Fitzpatrick, the dummy half. So back on across there. Duncan getting it outside to Shaw. Running around, still going is Green. Now he straightens up, can't slip through, looking to get the pass outside, but decided to go to ground with it. Now a little kick through. Going back there is Davis. He'll take it. Now he's got to get it out of his in-goal area, because he did take it just in the field of play. So it'll be a drop out from underneath the goal mount.
Yeah, well, good play both ends of the field from Craig Green. Firstly, he diffused that bomb up the other end, and then down and attack a nice little chip, and then carried on with pressure in defence with some help from John Green on the wing. And there's the chip coming through from Craig Green, and the Green duo take on Sean Davis, enforcing the drop out from underneath the posts. A little slap around the face from John Green.
So now this drop out on its way now. Ooh, a bit of a Drop ball there. Back it goes to Mills.
You've been a bit lucky to get away with that one, Green.
I would think so. Midway between the quarter and halfway. Taking it up this time is Schuler. He gets it up to the quarter line. So from the play, the ball, they'll spin it back this time to Shaw. Shaw still going. Knocked over 15 metres out. West putting on some pressure. Fitzpatrick from dummy half. He'll swing it across over there to Shaw again, but it's going to be a penalty West. He's up offside. Penalty Western Suburbs. So John Green is moving back to attempt another two-pointer here for Western Suburbs. Give them a tidy lead. Here's his kick. No doubt about it. So West have a lead now, 16 points to 4. So we're ready for the restart of play now, and it'll be Gavin Payne to kick off here for Eastern Suburbs. And taken back there by the lock forward Liddell for Wests. He'll bring it up to 20 metres out from his own line. So away from dummy half Fitzpatrick. We'll send it on to Green. That's Craig Green, the fullback. And he got it up there to the quarter line. And West's looking to take it up via Schuler. 20 metres from halfway. That's Mills. Well wrapped up on this occasion by the East defence. O'Reilly. They're 5 metres from halfway, and it's the final tackle, so we'll look for Duncan to kick downfield. There he goes. He's going to find touch. Good little kick of this fellow. Kick through coming into half-time, which got a nice bounce and enabled them to score a try. And a very telling try, I feel. And West have a lead of 16 points to 4. Waiting for Paul Green to feed for Reese. And it goes. Comes around that open side, still going. Duncan comes up as dummy half. So back over there to Nielsen. He's struggling up towards the halfway mark via Steve Herman with a run on that occasion. This time it's Crothers. Crothers only about 5 metres inside West territory. Neve from dummy half. On it goes to Green. He tries to find a way up the centre, but there's nothing there. Defence is very smart to wrap him up. So back on it goes then to Crosby. Bowen coming at him. There's two other players there. They all combined to take care of him. So they work the blind side. Green is well wrapped up over there. They don't seem to know what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, far better defence from West, though. They've really tightened that up, and the whole game is much more composed than it was earlier, and they're really looking now as if they know what they're going to do. They're playing it sensibly. The kicks for the sideline, just chewing up a bit of time and making no mistakes. Good stuff from the Panthers.
So that's Schuler. They keep it going West to Mills. Out it goes now. They go right along that back line. Still going. Looking around for support on this occasion is Strutton. Now he gets it away to his winger, Maguire. But Maguire knocked over 30 metres out from the east line. Fitzpatrick from dummy half. Back on it goes to Mills. Mills to the quarter line. Neve is off for Eastern Suburbs.
Elmore on in 16.
So now it's West on the attack, right on that quarter line to Bowen. Oh, they got men to burn out here. This is Schuler. Schuler going himself. Now tries to get it over the top. It'll be into touch, will it? But it carried forward anyway.
Good play again from Bowen. He slipped the tackle of Gavin Payne, but the supports at Paul Schuler were just a bit too quick for him. He was trying to set them up. There's Bowen getting outside. There's Schuler now. His support should have held a little there. Kennan or done the switch, but they got in front of him, and the ensuing pass went into touch.
In by Green. West coming up pretty quickly, though, and he doesn't get far. So West keeping on the pressure. He's struggling at the moment to try and get out of their own quarter. As Elmore takes it up on that occasion.
It's still a long way to go, Bill. Of course, it was 16-4 to Illawarra over St George yesterday, and St George came back and gave them a heck of a scare. So East not out of it, but just that West seem to be playing a much better style of football now, and East look a bit bereft of ideas, really.
Well, here's the final tackle. They're only 30 metres out from their own line. So here's the kick downfield. Going back there is Green.
The other thing where East are going to struggle, Billy, is they've lost Andrew Neve, who's very creative around that play the ball area.
He is very much so. A very busy player too. So now this is Green. The defence getting across now. Taking it up over here is Darren Shaw. Forced back a metre or so on that occasion. He'll play at 10 metres from the halfway mark. The West lead is 16 points to 4. Fitzpatrick dummy half. So they keep it going. Bowen. Oh, Mills getting the one out the back to Bowen. They keep it going nicely. A crossover there to Green. Now it's going to go astray again. East will come away with it. Gee, they muffed a few chances today. And eventually the tackle about 30 metres out from their own line. Trying to find a way through this time is Davis.
John Green injured on the Frank Burke side of the ground.
So that's Herman taking it up for Easts. Crosby was the dummy half to Green. Then away this time to Duncan. Still going. On the halfway, slipped the pass back behind. This is East starting to look all right. Eventually it's Street put to the ground. Lost it. Lost it in the tackle. One time they couldn't afford to lose it. Yes, just going out of his arms just as he was about to hit the ground. Herman being called out by referee Ian Irwin. So now we'll have a scrum to pack down midway between the quarter and halfway in Western Suburbs territory. So it'll be a West ball. Trying to work around over there is Bowen. Now coming into it rather with the fullback Green on that occasion. Away this time Stratton, still going. Now they send it back behind. Fitzpatrick is there. Lock forward coming away with it in Liddell. Back the other way, Bowen with it again. They got plenty of players. This is Mills starting to go. Got his pass outside, cutting his way through. Over there is Smith. Smith coming up, got it back inside. And here's the try for the winger in green. And that'll wrap it up, I'd say. West going right off out there in the centre of field. And why not? They've opened up a big lead of 20 to 4.
Well, a couple of those players blew it earlier. Green throwing the inside pass to Sam Smith that went to ground somewhere or other after a big run from Mills. This time, Mills was involved again. He gave it to Smith. Smith a beautiful left hand over the top into John Green, who read it very well. It was good, sensible play from the wing and no space out wide. And again, Bowen was involved, giving that space to Steve Mills, who in ditto gave some to Sam Smith. And Smith had two options: a little left-footed chip kick. He gave that one a flick and decided to go for the pass. It was a beautiful one into John Green under the post. And as Billy said, that will just about wrap it up. And Wests know that it has.
So it's John Green right in front of the posts.
Scored a try and he's kicked 4 goals. Day to remember for John Green. This for his 14th point of the match.
There's the kick. No doubt about it. Through it goes. So the West lead is a good one at Lang Park. It's 22 points to 4 now. It'll be taken back there by the second rower in Schuler, the captain of the West side. He in turn got it on to Mills. Mills put down 25 metres out from his own line.
I wouldn't quite put him in the category at this stage, but there's things about Steve Mills' game that remind me of Blue Plats.
Yeah, here they go again. This is Bowen. He sends it outside. They start to stretch out a little bit again with Stratton. Over the top it goes. This will be another try. He's in again, Green. And West careering away now. Green into the corner. And they've got a lead of 26 points to 4.
Don't get too excited, Gary Grenke. Quick shot of Gary Grenke trying to look composed. Now, perhaps you might think if you only come in at the last bit of this try, you've just seen a replay of the previous one, because it's exactly the same little left-handed flick over the switch from John Green. Reads it well. Perhaps a hint of forward. I think Irwin thought about it. He was right on the spot. He said, no, fair try. John Green in for point number 18. There's that man again, Bowen. And that one again as well, Sam Smith. This time Mills was out of it. He'd been in earlier. If Smith finds the sideline, knows that John Green's come inside, both East defenders sucked in, pass taken high from John Green. He's happy enough to test his goal kicking from the sideline.
So it's John Green attempting to get this shot over. What's he kicked today? 5 out of 5 then?
5 out of 5 and 2 tries. So going for his 20th point.
Let's see what he can do from here. It's a bit low this one, but it's got to be there. He's booted it over. And he's set this crowd alight at Lang Park today. 28 points to 4. West are leading East. So here's a kick-off from Gavin Payne. And it'll be the fullback Green to take it up. And at this stage, we have a good lead for West now of 28 points to 4.
And 20 points to John Green. I just wonder what the most number of points by an individual in a Brisbane Grand Final is. I doubt that too many would have got more than 20.
Well, he scored 10 tries throughout the season. He finished behind Gerard Kerr from South, the second highest point scorer, John Green. And he's picked up a couple here this afternoon in this Grand Final.
With Greg Dowling, we referred to West early, and they did look a bit flimsy in defence around the middle, but East have pretty well, they've tightened that up. East pretty well have looked flimsy out wide all day, haven't they? And West really now starting to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, they were flimsy outside. I think East are a very tight outfit here, but West, they're throwing that ball around. Their backs just look so ominous at the moment. But by the same token, you look at East, they're playing that short line of defence. If you use that, you've got to move up quickly, and the inside players have got to slide across to help pick up the outside guys. They're not doing that. While they do that, West will create havoc.
So this is Peter Elmore. I see Adam Wanless on in jersey 17. Rob Cannon's off, and Greg Street's gone to the wing. Wanless goes to the centres with Gavin Payne. So Western Suburbs beaten in the Grand Final by East last year. We must keep in mind, Andrew Slack, that East did lose Darren Wolins, Ian Staines and Ken Jackson to the Gold Coast this season.
Yeah, 3 handy players to go in one hit. Really, I think East showed enough early on that perhaps they could have done something, but then they lost composure, and of course West tightened up. And West really have played quite well for the majority of the game once they got themselves organised and composed.
All right, so Craig Green's wrapped up by Crosby on the far side of the ground. I would say that Gary Grenke at some time will find an opportune time to run on a couple of his replacements, and particularly Wayne Trelevin, Andrew Slack, who retires today. 20 years with Western Suburbs, 10 in the seniors, 10 in the juniors. He's on the sideline, and no doubt will get a run at some stage before full-time.
Yes, has captained A-grade and been a great player just about everywhere. I don't know if there's any position that Wayne hasn't played, but certainly be a proud day for him.
So Shaw floats one over the top to Mills. One-handed pass inside to Sam Smith. Wrapped up? No, he's not. They keep it going. There's Fitzgerald.
Beautifully taken by Fitzgerald there.
So Western Suburbs launch another raid. They go left side to Duncan. Out wide goes Bowen, and he throws it around the corner and into touch. John Green, I think, had a sniff at try 3 on that side of the ground.
Yeah, good work, Gavin Payne. Good tackle on Bowen there, because I thought Bowen was past him, stuck out the left arm and held on.
It was Craig Green and then John Green on his outside. So Eastern Suburbs. Duncan's come away with it towards the line, and he's in. Gavin Duncan from the base of the scrum. Oh, Tinkerbell down the chalk, in the corner. 32 points to 4.
Well, East couldn't tackle him, but his teammates did a fair job after he scored the try. They really decked him. Great play from Gavin Duncan. It's come out straight back out by the looks of it to me, but he's done the old off the left foot, off the right foot, inside and around Sean Davis over in the corner. And we'll test John Green this time. Can he make it 6 out of 6? Make that 7 out of 7.
Well, it's amazing effort, this one. I don't know what happened in the scrum. It was on the far side of it, but by golly, he's happy, and then the rest of his teammates.
Well, we see the big hit, yes, the big hit from Mark O'Reilly. It's a good shot of what John Green is looking at as he's aiming for his 7th consecutive goal.
Want to back him in? Money on the table.
I'm a great man for the law of averages, and that would suggest he'd miss it, not to mention that it's an inch in from the touch.
But he did kick the last one from there.
Didn't strike it all that sweetly. I hope he gets it.
How's he hit that? Just away. 32 points to 4, Western Suburbs lead. The ball back to the halfway mark. Well, Greg Dowling, What's the old saying? You've got to learn to lose a grand final before you can win one. And I guess with Western Suburbs, they came with great expectations last year. East methodically put them away. The hurt of losing a grand final. Today, they've absolutely given the Tigers a pounding.
Like you say, you learn by your mistakes. But they started the season off very slowly, West. They lost a couple early, and the season's panned out well for them. They've hit peak at the right time, grand final. And just talking to Gary Grenke before the game, he said there was no way they were going to lose this.
32-4. There's the lead for West. This will be their first premiership since 1976. When Craig Green's father, Andrew Slack, Bobby Green, captained the side.
There's some players in that team, aren't there? Great era for West, that mid-70s, very attractive sort of football. And we've seen that again in 1992 grand final with some great tries.
A great touch finder. Street allows it to go in the end.
Notice all the reserves for West warming up on the touchline, so get ready for some wholesale changes. Alan, all the best.
Thank you. David Liddell is in 15. Cameron Roper's in 14. Wayne Treleaven's 17 and Wayne Wilson in 16. They'll be the four that will probably get a run. All right. Well, won't need to run with the ball, Paul Green. Liddell, that's Peter Liddell breaking early from the scrum. So Paul Green finds touch. It's been a long time since Eastern Suburbs have been down the other half of the field with the football. Steve Herman was in doubt for this match with appendicitis, but he's played strongly. Peter Anderson, their try scorer, back in the 14th minute when they led 4 points to nil. Who would have thought that West would have scored 32 points straight? Peter Elmore trying to get his hands free.
That must seem like an eternity away for those East players by now.
It certainly does, Bill.
I guess it has to be said for East. They've lost three key players. They've lost the man at the back, Paul Mulvihill, the man up front, Andrew Neave, who I think was their most consistent player up to the time that he went off, and also Steve Dowden at 5'8". So I guess communication perhaps took a bit of a back seat, and it hasn't helped, but can't take anything away from West. Far too good.
So Craig Green is into space. Well wrapped up from behind by Sean Davis, it was. Now Bowen, he may dummy here. He did. But I tell you what, Rob Duncan didn't fall for it and brought him to ground. Here they go, the quick hands and the long ball. Whoa, over the top, here we go, Mills. Inside to Sam Smith. He's off for the corner and he's lost the football.
He was looking for the hat trick of the flick-in left-handers. Didn't get it, because again, Green was had cut inside, and I'm sure Smith had the same thing on his mind then. Now he comes out here, looks to get that left arm free to throw over the top, but loses control of the ball.
Bit of a delay here. Ian Irwin packs the scrum and Paul Green feed it, and Duncan comes up with it. Here goes Smith towards the line, a metre out. Here come the Panthers, they want another one.
They'll go right, they'll get one.
Duncan floats one. Straight for the corner. Graham Stratton. In he goes. He's played well today, the centre. And Graham Stratton goes in to score. Western Suburbs 36, Eastern Suburbs 4. Nothing tricky about that try, Andrew Slack.
No, there's about 6 or 7 West fellas out there and 2 East tacklers, and it was just a matter of numbers. Stratton getting on the inside there to easily go over. I tell you, if there's one thing, if you're difficult to be critical when you're 30-odd points ahead in the grand final, but Gavin Duncan, a great player, but his passing from left to right's a bit shady. It was that way in the first half. Whenever he has to throw a long one, struggled a bit there. The try would have been scored more easily had he had a firmer left to right pass. He'll work on that, I'm sure, and they might win the next grand final by 40 points. But great play from West, and Graham Stratton, he's had a good match. A very good match, in fact, and probably just what he needs as he goes to the Greek Islands next week for a holiday, AT.
Well, as John Green lines up, there's the 4 Western Suburbs player about to come on. There's Wayne Treleaven in 17. 20 years with West. David Liddell beside him. Wayne Wilson in 16 and Cameron Roper on the far side. The 4 players going off: Sam Smith, Peter Liddell, Steve Mills, Darren Shaw. So Green, nicely struck, but it's just wide of the uprights. No goal. West lead 36 points to 4. So Eastern Suburbs will be the longest 10 minutes or so of their life, I would think.
Longer for East.
East, I meant.
Yeah.
Gavin Payne. Down to Strutton, the try scorer. And off he goes. Here goes Maguire. He can't beat Payne. Oh, he does stay in the field of play. That's pretty good work, Mark Maguire.
Great work from Mark Maguire, and also good work from Gavin Payne. He really put in some tackling today that will have saved East from an even more embarrassing score.
Oh, Roper. Straight through goes Cameron Roper. The fresh reserve dashes to the 22. Treleaven flashed on his left side. Here it goes from Fitzgerald now. Through goes Paul Schuller. Still getting out of tackles. The dummy half is Treleaven. Fitzgerald now pushes him out of the way to get there. To Duncan. Green, 10 metres out. Hands free, Wayne Treleaven. Unselfishly to Strutton for try number 2. Puts it down. Wayne Treleaven only on the park about 3 minutes. 20 years with his club and in a grand final sets up his centre partner of the moment, Graham Strutton, for try number 2, and Western Suburbs lead by 40 points to 4.
Yeah, it came from another run by a replacement, Cameron Rope. He set that up. Good hands from Treleaven. Again, a simple overlap, and Graham Strutton takes 2.
Well, I suppose when you're 32 points behind and they run on 4 fresh players, you've got something to worry about, and that's exactly what here. It took its toll. Can you appeal against the light or something?
Gee, it was a great pass away there from Craig Green in the tackle, which really allowed that to happen.
Let's go to the sideline. Greg Dowling.
Yeah, with me, Gary Grinke. Gary, superb effort by the boys out there today.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, this victory, 16 years. It reminds me of 1984 when your team gave us a hiding.
Yeah, just thinking about 84, I think that try just broke the record for the most number of points.
Yeah, it's a really good effort. You know, we've got a lot of class out wide, and the guys really showed it today.
Well, mate, thank you very much, and congratulations too.
Thank you very much.
I think it's taking a little while for the victory to set in with Gary. He may be a little bit more relaxed after that full-time siren goes. But at 40 points to 4, you could probably wait around a bit, Andrew.
He's probably been watching Wayne Bennett.
I'll tell you something, poor old Johnny Green, he hasn't had too many easy ones. Here he is out near the touchline again.
Can kick the ball.
6 from 8. He's missed the last 2, but they've been difficult, so one would think he might steer this. Well, he did. Steered it wide. 40 to 4. Back to the halfway. Gavin Payne wearing a pathway, Andrew, to that halfway position. Has the ball set. A few talent scouts from all the different clubs here this afternoon. All the Sydney, one talent scout's on his way home. He thinks he's seen enough.
And a little former West boy, West Mitchie, John Reba used to play for as a youngster.
So that's David Liddell. Taking it up as Schuller. And West, I suppose you can get to 50. There's 5.5 minutes left.
And a real captain's knock from Paul Schuller, actually. Even when things were tough early on, he did a lot of hard work, and even when the game has been well and truly settled, he's still made those hard meters up the middle, and it's provided a great example for the Panthers.
So Wilson knocking on. Eventually regathers. So can Eastern Suburbs, well, can they get the double figures? I suppose a converted try gets them there. Let's have a look. So Green away to Duncan, and Payne can't get through. He's wrapped up by Strutton. This is Adam Wanless. Now Crosby, they're all in a bunch. Crothers to hit it hard and straight, and he's within 10 of the line. Robbie Duncan goes to dummy half. Here's Paul Green, a metre out. Peter Elmore to distribute. Goes, barges, can't get it down. They're on the final tackle. Crosby may be the playmaker at first receiver. He has the football, he spins it. Nielsen. Who's got it now? Can they get an overlap? They finally get it out wide to Greg Street. He'll go in the corner. So Eastern Suburbs, they score in the 4th minute, and it takes them to the 77th minute to get their next point. It's 40 points to 8.
And just to show you where the loyalties of the crowd have well and truly laid today, even there...
Turned around before those injuries. It turned around about the 22nd or 23rd minute of the first half, didn't it?
It did. No risk. East were the best team for the first 20 minutes as Payne attempts to get... No, we'll get double figures.
He's kicked it. Great goal. Great conversion. West lead 40 to 10.
Yeah, but as I say, then West started to show discipline, become controlled, and they realised all the grand final atmosphere, got that out of their heads and started to think about the job at hand, and have done it superbly. As I say, I don't think you can underestimate Schuler's contribution to that. He really got them going after that sloppy start.
I suppose the pressure would have been on Gary Grenke too. They got to the grand final last year, and here he comes in, takes over the reins. So you know, there's a lot of pressure on him to, firstly, to get them to where they were last year with the first stint at the reins, and then he's got them over the line. So he's done a terrific coaching effort with the side. Nielsen. So Green, long pass. Streets come into the centres. Wrapped up by Trelevin and also Paul Fitzgerald. So Green again. Crothers, who's tried hard, still running strongly. Herman, still trying to the end. He's a very good competitor, Stephen Herman. Crosby with the chip. Trelevin covers. So who's to hit it up in the last 60 seconds of the match? West lead by 40 points to 10. Liddell. So Fitzgerald a dummy half to Duncan now. Bowen. Hands inside to Green, tidied up by Shaw. There goes Strutton again, over the top Maguire. There's cover. He'll have to take the tackle. Stays in the field of play. Only time for perhaps one or two play the balls. Strutton finds a hole for Green. There'll be one more play the ball. No, won't be now, but they should score. They need hands fast and left. It goes to ground. Picked up by Greg Street. That's it. That's the grand final to Western Suburbs. Their first since 1976, and they have comprehensively defeated the defending premiers Eastern Suburbs by 40 points to 10. And Andrew Slack, a very, very comprehensive performance indeed.
Well, you don't have to look further than the scoreboard to realise that, but it was one, I think, pretty well based on a good forward effort. Once they, as we've said before, they got themselves into the mode, and Paul Schuler led from the front. Steve Mills, who was touted before the game as the big match breaker, East kept a hold on him for a good little while, but then he started to make those space. People were looking off support, coming off support for him, and Craig Bowen got the backs moving beautifully. Paul Schuler, the captain of West, picking up the Winfield Cup, and
with a great deal of difficulty too, I might add.
Actually tips it over, but the lid was going to bite the dust there, but Schuler, a very happy man, well deserved, as we say, and his teammates there applauding.
And one of their fans in the background there is determined to make it a television. And the rest of the players followed on there and got their particular rewards after that.
Well, John, I don't have to ask you how you feel.
No, mate, it's very disappointing, but, you know, that's life.
What went wrong out there?
Oh, I don't know what went wrong, Greg. The bottom line is we probably had a few chances in the first half, but we could have led at half-time. But, you know, West were the better side in the first half, and they just blew us away in the second.
Yeah, they started off slowly, West. I thought you guys, you know, were well on top in the first 20, put that try on the board, and then West just clawed their way back. They're a pretty hot side.
Yeah, they always look dangerous. I mean, even though we had them under pressure at times, I still felt they never ever dropped their confidence. And really, that's what I was hoping for today, that if we went out there and really put it to them, that the pressure of the grand final might get to them. I knew they were a very dangerous side, but, I mean, you've got to give it to them. They played with great poise, and once they sort of got to the lead, they just stormed right over top of us.
Obviously, a pretty disappointed Johnny Lang there.